I'm CJ with Starter Builds, and today I'm going to show you to build this really cool DIY sand and water play table that also doubles into a chalkboard on Starter Builds. Alright, to show you guys what we're building here, it is this. I am not the original owner of these plans. This was built by Woodhouse. She's a popular creator in the space. I'll have a link down to her socials. I don't think she has a video on this, maybe she does, but we're going to build this today and show you how to do it. So stay tuned. I'm going to be using plywood, and granted, plywood is not the most weather resistant, but if we use some paint and some sealant, I think we'll be able to get by. So I'm just here to show you that as a dad, and you have some tools, you can build some stuff. So we're going to start by ripping down some of this scrap wood and getting our measurements. I'll have a link down to the plans below, but follow along. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and feel free to subscribe. So let's tune in and let's get started. Alright, so per the plans on the Kreg website, once you have your long sides cut and you have your end pieces, so I don't know if I can maneuver this here. Okay, so this is going to be an end piece, this is going to be your side piece, like so. So you have your end, your side, your end, your side, end, side. On our sides, we are going to be putting 3 pocket holes here. So 1, 2, 3. Looks pretty good, I suppose. 1, 2, 3. We'll flip it around. We'll mark it again here. I don't know if you can see, but I'm basically going 1, 2, 3. They don't need to be perfect. And we'll replicate that for the other side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And since this project is going to be a lot of pocket holes, we're going to be using our Kreg Foreman for that. So let's start with some pocket holes. This is going to be our divider piece for the middle here, and then we will start to cut down our 1x2s. These are also going to be 17 1/4, 17 1/4, and we're going to be using pocket holes again to attach these. So we're going to jump over to the miter saw. So once you've got your sides and your ends, we need a divider. Again, we're going to cut this at 17 1/4 here. And then we are going to start cutting down our 1x2 slats. These are also going to be 17 1/4, and we'll be attaching these with pocket holes. Alright, so at a glance at first, I was skeptical of the Kreg Foreman, but right there I just did 6 pocket holes in, what, less than a minute? So overall, I would give this upgrade a B+. I would say, well, you could still do it by hand with the one up there on the wall or any other handheld Kreg Jig. The Foreman is great if you do a lot of pocket hole joinery, if you're building a lot of cabinets, or a lot of projects that require pocket hole joinery. Or even if you land on the Kreg website and you find a lot of their projects on there, a lot of those projects are going to be pocket hole friendly. So I recommend this, especially if you can find one used on Facebook Marketplace. Lowe's was doing a 50% discount when I picked this up. Do you need it when starting out? Definitely not. I've actually 3D printed pocket hole jigs. So food for thought. If you can find one used or find one on your local Facebook Marketplace, definitely recommend if you're doing a lot of pocket hole projects. Alright, step 1, make your box. You're going to be using pocket holes and wood glue. 6 pocket holes to be exact. The pocket holes are going to be going on the sides there, and you're going to be attaching it to the ends. So you got 3 there, 3 there, 6, and then 3 there, 3 down there. Pretty straightforward. So you're making a box, make sure it's square. check your measurements, cut once, measure twice. Something I want to point out when you're doing a project, whether it's from your own plans or plans from the web, a lot of the times I recommend making the cuts as you go, because in a previous clip I said I wanted to cut out the 1x2s prior to making this box, and in the plans this measurement is 17 1/4 and mine's coming up at 16 3 1/4. So I'm glad I waited to cut my 1x2s, because what would have happened, I would have made all those cuts and they wouldn't have fit in here, or I would have had to cut them again. So food for thought as you are going in and making these cuts. Make sure you measure twice, cut once. Now we're going to be going in and putting in the 1x2 slats here. We're going to be using glue and pocket hole. I'll give you a view of what this looks like here. Get my mic set up here. So this is what we're doing in terms of the 1x2 slats across. I've got 8 total. We're going to be using 1 1/4 pocket holes. I'm going to be using the Kreg to drill those pocket holes. So once we have that in, we're going to put in a divider here, and then from there we'll be able to build out our legs and start working on our top. Alright, so we have all of our 1x2s laid out here. We have the pocket holes on each side of the 1x2. To attach these to our piece here, we're going to be using 1 1/4 pocket hole screws as well as some wood glue. So that is our next step, and should be fairly DIY friendly. So now that we have our 1x2 slats across the bottom of this box here, we're going to be putting in a divider to separate the bins right in the middle here. We're going to be using 3/4 ply. For that, we're going to use some pocket holes on the bottom and on the sides to attach to a 1x2 slat to separate it. So let's go over to the miter saw, cut this down to the correct length, and then we'll get it installed. Camera, I went ahead and cut down a bunch of strips of plywood. These are actually 1x3s, which are 2.5 inches wide. These are going to be the legs. So I'm going to cut them down to 22¼ on the miter saw, and then we're gonna attach them with, I believe, glue and either 1" or 1¼ screws. So we're gonna start by cutting these down, attaching them here. So that's gonna be step 3 for us. All right, we have our 8 legs right here. We're gonna start to attach them. If you stuck around this long, you should have something that looks like this, your little play table, if you will. And as far as dimensions, right now, this is measuring at 50 5/8 wide. And in terms of the height, right now we are 22 3/4 in terms of height. So what we're going to do next, we're actually going to put something in here, another shelving unit at the bottom here to store other toys and whatnot. For that, we're going to be using 1x3s for the horizontal, and for the vertical, we'll be doing 1x2s for that. And then lastly, we'll be putting on our lid here. We're going to be using 1/2" plywood for that, and then we're going to paint it with this chalkboard paint that we have here. So we'll be painting the top and we got our bottom shelf here. I opted to not use pocket holes on this, so I just went ahead and used glue and brad nails. But on the reverse side, the 1x3 side, we have pocket holes here, which will be used to attach to the bottom of our play table here. So we're gonna get this sanded, we're gonna get this installed, and then we'll start working on the top. Flipped up, have a glance at what it looks like. It's starting to get a little heavy, but yeah, look at that. Don't mind my workstations, they are not even. But yeah, we're gonna get working on the top next, and after that we'll be ready to paint it here. Very cool. Alright, so the official Dumbass Award goes to me because for the life of me I couldn't figure out why this wasn't square. And I actually did figure it out. So this just goes to show you that mistakes make you better. I had to do 2 individual flip panels there, but if we actually look here at the width of these sections here, this section here is completely different width from this section down here. So take it from me, measure twice, cut once, and you won't have your project looking like this, because candidly, I was wondering the whole time when I was looking at it why it looked so off, and it's because I was working in here late at night, I was rushing things, and now this just looks stupid as fuck. So take it from me, slow down, don't rush the process. Is my son still going to be happy with it? Yes. Is it going to be an eyesore for me? Yes, but mistakes make us better, and that's why we're on this journey. So what do we have left to do here? We have to paint the tops with this chalkboard paint I got. Picked up some of this chalkboard paint right here. So we'll paint the tops like so. And then for the interior, I don't know what color we're going to do, but we're going to find some type of spray. I'll spray that on there. But yeah, as you can see here, when we take it off, you can see how much of an overhang this has. You can see a little bit of bend to it. You can see that is somewhat flush, and even the latches I picked didn't really work out. But hey, will it be functional? Will my son be happy? Yes, he will. So yeah, just note, if you go to build this, make sure your pieces here are the same width, because clearly mine are not. So slow down, measure twice, cut once. So here we have it. We have this DIY water and sand play table with the chalkboard top. So if you go ahead and flip open the top here, this is where we could put water in there or sand, and then vice versa on the other side here. We also have that. So all in all, for the scrap wood I had laying around, I think this project turned out great. Can't wait to show it to my son and have him play with it all summer long. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to subscribe or give it a thumbs up if you think I earned it. Stay tuned for more DIY projects. We're just getting started and we're learning along the way. Take care.